love it. It's the war, you know, the passion and the fan base. You don't know until you get here with it. And you know, I told our 4 freshmen it's exciting. You know, it's an exciting rivalry. You know, great program. It'll be a good game. Both games have been great. You know, both games have been great and fun to watch too for the fans. And I expect this one to be another great game. A sellout. Last year was a sellout. This one's a sellout.
3 in a row.
It's a good. Is it 3 in a row?
Yeah.
That's tremendous. So that's a good sign for basketball here in New Jersey.
Sure.
What do you hope to learn about your team? You know, after the Fordham loss.
Yeah, you know, I want to learn, you know, how we bounce back. You know, it's another road game, so we've had 4 out of 5 on the road. I keep telling them all the time, hardest thing in college basketball to win road games. You know, they've got to start believing me one of these days. But, you know, I'm hoping we play well. We've shown signs of being really good, and then we've shown signs of being not very good. So inconsistency has probably been what we've been most consistent with. And hopefully we practice better. You know, crazy week this week because finals and last week of class. But today and tomorrow we'll get 2 good days in and, you know, head out there for a tough game.
How much has Myles Powell grown as a player over the last year from what you've seen on film?
Boy, I mean, he's tremendous. You know, he's probably one of the best tough shot makers that I've seen. And they say how much like weight he's lost. I never saw him as that guy. Every time he's played us, he's been terrific. So, you know, he puts it down, he shoots it. He's got a swagger to him. You know, he's really good player. He's a problem for a lot of people, as he was for Kentucky the other day, Louisville, and you know, Grand Canyon, and all these places. He's a problem. He's a tough matchup.
How do you attack him defensively?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know. I've seen everyone try different things. I mean, you know, I don't know. Try to do a good job, you know, not allowing him to get as many touches. You know, you got to have some tricks up your sleeve too. So, you know, we may have some of those.
Is rebounding a key for your team? I mean,
I think, you know, in watching last year too, yeah. I mean, I think huge key. And, you know, wants to defend. And when we've defended the right way, we can play anybody. And when we don't want to defend, you see, you know, tough night for us.
Steve, some slow starts in the second half, the last 3 or 4 games. How do you address that, and what do you think the issue is there?
Yeah, no, I mean, just think that's the way games play out, you know. We're on the road, you know, 4 out of the last 5 games, tough environments, you know, like, I don't know if the second half, I didn't like the first half in any of those games either. So it's not just that, you know, you got to play good basketball. We didn't get off to a good start last year in the game. We didn't get off to a good start in the second half. We finished well, you know, so, you know, it's the way it is. But, you know, we do have 4 out of our top 9 guys are freshmen. That they got to figure it out a little bit, and that's the challenge to them. You know, this is big boy basketball.
Steve, from the guys who returned from last year's game against Seton Hall, the way they played, the environment they had here, does that give them confidence, or is that just dead and buried a year later?
Yeah, no, I think any time you play a game like that, you know, gives you confidence, especially if you've played in these games before.
Right.
You
in
know?
this type of environment.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, and you know, Gene's played in 3 of them. Like, he knows, you know, this will be his 3rd game. He knows Shaq Dorson's played in these games. Gio, you know, was very good last year in the game. You know, so those guys got to be huge for us. You know, they got to explain to the other guys what kind of, you know, environment's going to be, and you're on the road and you're playing a really good team and well coached, and you know, I look forward to it. I think this is what college basketball. These are fun.
How do you approach? I know some coaches differ in the way they approach a rivalry when it's not a conference game. Do it change anything for you at all?
No, I mean, we're just one game at a time. This is the obstacle right now. Like, I don't know if you conference and non-conference, they're all obstacle games for us, you know. And this one, you know, again, I think road games are always different. You got to play great on the road. So really try to get your guys in that mindset. You're not going to get any calls. You're not going to get, you know, you got to play good basketball. You know, the fans are going to be on you, and you got to embrace that. And, you know, but every game is a different challenge, whether, you know, conference game or not.
Do you have this particular advice for players on playing in a super passionate, charged environment with intensity, but not over the line?
Yeah, I mean, you still have to play basketball. You know, you have to be poised. You have to, you know, execute. You know, emotion's great and all that, but if it's used the right way, bottled the right way. So, you know, you got to play good basketball, and you got to, you know, especially against a team like this, they're playing with tremendous confidence, and so, you know, you got to come out and play well, and you know, I believe we will. You know, we're a team figured it out a little bit, but you know, when we figured it out, we're pretty good, and you know, we've certainly have been tested in some tough environments over the last few years too. So, you know, it'll be fun to see this environment.
I think we've seen just last couple of years, like how many players that you play. Have you settled on a rotation right now? Are you comfortable playing 9, 10, 11 guys? 10,
Yeah.
I guess 9.
We play 10. You know, again, you know, a lot has to do with the matchups and the teams you're playing and stuff. I think sometimes as you go through the non-conference league, you have a lot of different teams, like, you know, so you have a zone team one night, you have a small team, you have a small team with a small center, you have, you know, and then you go play Wisconsin with 2 bigs and Michigan State with 2 bigs. So I think that's always part of your rotation. I think, you know, the guys that have been playing now, that's our rotation, and you know, guys can play themselves into that rotation. Like, I think Shaq Carter's done a real good job, you know, of getting minutes, especially as we play bigger teams, you know, physically. But that means someone else is losing minutes, probably some of the smaller guys are losing minutes. So, you know, I think you're always a work in progress, but you got to have 10, 11 guys ready to go, because last week Issa had the flu. He wasn't here for practice all week. You know, someone's got to be ready to go, and that's not the last illness or sickness or, you know, whatever you're going to have to deal with during the course of the season. So we have 11 guys that are eligible and ready to go. They all better be ready.
How's he feeling?
Yeah, I mean, he's been fine now this week. You know, last week was a tough week, but, you know, he's great. He's been great in practice.
Montez Sladen for him in the starting lineup. How much has he grown on the defensive end? It seems like he's gotten that.
You know what? He's grown in both ends. You know, he got to the foul line 12 times in the last 3 games. That's helped us a lot. You know, he gets to the rim. You know, his defense is much improved. His practices. You know, I say to these guys all the time, you got every day 2 hours. You know, and he's utilized his 2 hours. He's practicing better, and therefore his results are better. You know, in the game. So he's going to be a good player. He's, you know, just a lot in your first 9 games. He's faced a lot of, you know, different tests, and you know, obviously he's going to have Myles, you know, Powell is going to have another huge test, you know, on Saturday.